feel like I'm kind of giving like coastal grandmother right now. Like New England vibes. Okay. I was just about to say that I feel like I kind of got restless, like right as I was about to start this. Conclusions are within reach. Maybe you're feeling a bit restless right now. That was the end of a tough cycle. Approaches that was trying to come out but didn't. A time to give rather than take. And believe in the impossible. So what are you giving your energy to? What are you taking energy away from? Maybe you could stand to give more energy into belief instead of taking and hoarding, soaking up negative energy. I don't know. Let's see. Conclusions are within reach, confirming that your commitment is being tested. Whatever it is that you're working on. Yeah, you're exasperated. Yeah, you're tired, but it's like paying it forward, paying your dues sort of energy. It's just your commitment's being tested. Time to give rather than take. It's funny that the blue moon card came out. I'm pretty sure we either have a blue moon this month or we have it in like October. I'll put it on the screen. Someone correct me with that. Time to meditate and contemplate. I want one more for that. But you know, like, how can you give more? Like, you maybe need to sit and think about that. Like, what is it you have to offer? What is it you're being asked to give? What it is that you're being asked to sacrifice? You and your loved ones are safe. Maybe you feel like you don't have anything to give. You know, like scarcity mindset, scarcity reasons, kind of like holding you back, or maybe kind of keeping you stuck, and maybe that's why your commitment is being tested as much as it is. Believe in the impossible. Here it is again, the end of a tough cycle approaches, and expect powerful change. But here, confidence is key, right? So you need to be confident. You need to own it, claim it. Yeah. So let's see like what's going on within your energy. That's what's around you. That's what the cosmos is telling you right now. Let's kind of see what's happening around you in more detail. I gravitated towards this one, which is kind of crazy. Conclusions are within reach, so you know, we'll see. Let's see what's coming. Maybe you're so exasperated because you feel used, either by someone within your circle. Maybe you feel used by the cosmos. Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but also wands, spiritual energy, especially after I said like the cosmos, but intimacy. Okay, and sexuality at the bottom here. No, I mean, clearly you feel kind of used by a fire sign, as if like they only wanted you for like sex, which is kind of been coming out like often lately. Pregnancy, oh, that's two. Is that earth sign? Maybe an earth sign that you know might be announcing that they're pregnant. You could be an earth sign that's pregnant and you feel used by the fire sign. So fire and earth significant here. Maybe you felt used. It's like they were using you only for sex and maybe you fell pregnant. I'm hearing that, which is rough, intense. Could have struggled with addictions. You, them, but kind of getting more so like maybe you. Good have been used. Caution. Proceed with caution. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself, especially if you're pregnant right now. Fire sign. I'm pretty sure that was open up your heart, and if it was, that's gonna be insane. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that was indeed open up your heart, which is crazy because I've been hearing Plan B in my head all day. Meg, I don't know, maybe you wish you had a Plan B, but manifest. So like, you know, some sort of manifestation. Maybe this fire sign needs to open up their heart. We're gonna break down the energies. Maybe this fire sign needs to open up their heart, or you're being guided to open up your heart towards this fire sign, especially if you are pregnant with their baby. But intimacy seems to be like a huge thing here. So don't be doing that. If you're pregnant, you're already in a vulnerable state. You already felt used by this person, making you even more vulnerable. Just, you know, it's just not the right time for that. Get a toy. I don't know. Pregnancy. They're being finicky. Wow. Commitment is crazy. Confession at the bottom here. Maybe you were engaged. Like, I don't think commitment's coming. I mean, it could be, you know, maybe they come back, you open your heart, you take things slow. After some sort of confession or something, they propose. Who knows? Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That was someone else that wanted to come out, but didn't it? Give it time. Okay, so this is clearly a fire sign, earth sign connection here. Cycles, karma, fate, karma, endings bring beginnings. Everything in divine timing, letting it flow. You could be the fire sign being asked to open up your heart, or you are being asked to open up your heart regarding a fire sign. I just said that right. And then similarly, you could be the earth sign that's being told to give it time, let things flow, right? Or you could be told, like, it could be give it time with this earth sign. Caution. No, so there is it wanted to come out and it did. There is additional energy here. There's someone else. I want one more for that. I don't think it's a case where, so this was at the bottom of the deck earlier, and I kind of thought maybe like sex addiction, but that felt like drastic. Didn't want to say that. But this confirming someone else, I mean, they could be something that they struggle with. Maybe that's something that they, you know, confess and open up to you about. I love your heart. health. So I'm just going back to that caution, don't overwork yourself sort of thing, especially if you are pregnant. Your physical health, your mental health takes precedence. Yeah, you're being guided to open up your heart, but like, if this is causing you too much stress, walk away. It's not time. 1333, and then on the sign. Yeah, confirming cycles. Confirming the no, not the right time. This is breakup here at the bottom. Something about like your intimacy, sex, and all of that led to this breakup, and it is a cycle for you guys that's guided by the cosmos. Commitment. Okay, so you felt used by a gaslighter who deals with some sort of addiction, which if they're in it, makes sense, right? Like, hold on. Yeah. I want one more for that narcissist. Yeah, this felt right on cycles. Yeah, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition about this person. But so that can go twofold, right? Like, the only, and then date night afterwards, and confession again. Can get right after it too. This could be past stuff that like has happened that they're, you know, that they need to confess about. And maybe you're being guided to trust your intuition because this is like an unconventional thing. Think like Hierophant in reverse, like something that most people would frown upon, like not the standard, not the norm, right? Societal expectations and all of that, going against the grain. And so that's why you're being really like pushed to trust your intuition. That's why also there is a big push of no on intimacy, especially if they're a person who struggles with like, you know, sexual addiction. It's not that they can't be trusted. It's just that like that has to, you get tread lightly is what I'm getting with that. Just, you know, it's something that you have to tread lightly with, and you won't really be able to hear and trust your intuition if you like jump into bed with them. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a level of removal that you won't have because you'll be emotionally attached. Six clouds things, like we all know that. Give it time, and it I wouldn't say it forces intimacy, but it kind of does. You know what I mean? Like because it's literally close. It's just sharing a body, sharing of you know. Okay, give it time. Yeah. Patience. I think you're the earth sign here. Also, this fire sign could be dealing with their own health issues. Again, addiction, like, you know, kind of trying to, I don't know why my brain just stalled out, which makes sense seeing the Mercury retrograde card. Trying to, you know, kick their habits or whatever, do better, learn better. And maybe that's just why you need to have patience with it. Patience with them. They're trying not to be this, you know, this gaslighter, this manipulator who makes you feel used, especially if you're carrying their baby, or if you did carry their baby. I'm not getting the sense that this is something that like, so if for you, if you come across this in a very similar situation, but you lost a child, I'm not getting that this is that sort of thing. If however that did happen to you, I'm so terribly sorry, and I feel icky even like mentioning that, but just disclaimer so that you know if this reading's for you or not. Sorry, I got tired of sleep last night. Cups, right? Like steady momentum, like steady movement forward. Small steps, big accomplishments. You know what I mean? That like add up over time. The moon reverse. Yeah. So working on your subconscious blocks, releasing fear, releasing anxiety, learning to trust your intuition. That's why like sex needs to like not be a thing here. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. That's really good. So this is something that's required, like persistence, almost like stubborn bullheadedness. Yeah, like getting over this grief. This is definitely a past thing that happened between the two of you, and it's coming back around for one reason or another. This isn't something that's actively happening, especially with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles on its journey, it's a very slow moving journey. It's the slowest Knight, right? Pentacles take the longest. Pentacles is years. So this, you know, you could have been working on this, working towards this for a year or more. This, you know, could have been a relationship that was over a year long. I'm also hearing, we'll have to like get more into it to kind of feel for it, but also hearing that it could be, this could be like a year in the making. As you've been sort of like, because especially with this sort of situation, if you were pregnant, you guys were engaged or married or whatever, or of course you're going to feel very burned by this, right? You're going to be very confused, especially if there was someone else in the mix. That like grief, sorrow, anguish, heartbroken to the max. And so to open up your heart again, that's going to require you to really dig deep within you. And that takes time to truly do that, authentically heal. That takes time. Hermit. Yeah, going within, like seeking the light within. And that's something that that's so crushing. So yeah, of course you have to, you know, like refine your own spark and find yourself again through that. Especially if you already had their baby and this happened. Because I mean, like having a child alone is something that, you know, especially if you're a new mother, or even if, you know, having a new kid, like it's a change in identity again. Like you're no longer just you're mom. So that on top of everything, like yeah, there's a lot of self-reflection and soul searching that would need to take place. Two of Cups reversed. Codependent patterns, an imbalance. You could have sought approval from them, which is also why you've been on this journey. And maybe that's something that you have a fear of now. Like, you know, like now that you're healing your codependent tendencies, like maybe that's something that you have a fear of. You know, you don't want to fall into that trap again now that you know, grown out of that, healed out of that. It's all 2212. Also enabling, you know, because again, codependency works both ways, especially if they're again someone who was dealing with addictions. Like enablers tend to be with like addicts. You know what I mean? That's no shade. That's like, okay, so under the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this journey, you've been working hard towards something, and you must be rewarded for staying on the path, for not straying. I'm sure even when it was long, tumultuous, when you're just in this cave, like looking at the light within, right, on this hermit's journey, this, you know, soul searching within, and having to just not seeing any results, not, you know, not getting anything out of it, right? But now something's coming for you. sort of offer, some sort of new beginning that you've been working towards. Which, okay, like we kind of know that, but it's good that this is confirming that. Like we know that from Queen of Cups, beautiful. We know that from the little cards over there, right? Fire sign coming back around. Seven of Coins reverse. A lot of Pentacles here. So I definitely think you are the earth sign, and I definitely think this is taking years to ground. It's been a long journey, a long time coming. Likely stagnant due to lack of growth. Like, you know, it takes a while to see how you contribute to your own BS, to your own pain. And it takes a while, even if you're like kind of aware of it subconsciously, to consciously take accountability for that and do different moving forward. So yeah, Nine of Wands, testify. And then, oh yeah, because the moon cards, we had your commitments being tested. You and your family are safe. It's also that makes sense now, especially with addiction and family. If you're pregnant, like you could be worried letting this person back in, bringing an addict around, or you know, a recovering addict. Like if that's safe and if that's something that you should do for the sake of your child, even if that child is also their child. You know what I mean? But this is kind of letting you know that, hey, this is a safe situation because you have been doing the work that you needed to do, but again, still proceed with caution, which likely means that this person is still kind of on their journey and coming back around for one reason or another. Four of Swords. It's Four of Swords reversed. You know, in the air right now, especially with Uranus just now moving into Gemini and on top of Sedna, there is a lot of restless energy just in the air, especially because there's a lot of fire energy, especially because we just came out of what, like 7 planets in Aries. And so you're like, you're ready to charge for it, you're ready to go, go, go. And it's kind of like, hold your horses. Like, eat, like, you know, it's like, so like, it's, think of like an extended release medication. You know what I mean? It's not released all at once, it's over time. This is kind of what this has been. And it can make you, especially when this journey has been so long already, it can make you restless. It can just make you, it's exhausting because you're there's this accumulation of energy. You feel something around the corner, like you anticipate it, and yet it's not coming, and you're just being asked to continue to, you know, be faithful and believe and keep pushing, and it can wear you down. Especially when you're on a journey of like loss and like heartbreak, things just being so stalling out. Then like there, it's really hard to keep hope there, and even if once upon a time you believe that this person could change and grow out of these things, you're so long on their journey that you stop believing in that because you feel like it's a fool's journey and not in a good way. We split to the Five of Pentacles reversed here, as I see the Hangman reversed under the Hermit. Yeah, uncertainty, stalling, resisting. I think for a while this was the case for you because it can be hard to, I never judge anyone who is not on a healing journey or who gets stuck on their healing journey, because it takes a lot to do that, as I was just saying, lady, right? But dealing with your demons, dealing with your shadows, it takes a lot more energy than I think most people give credit for. And it's understandable when you get stuck on a layer and stuck in like just in a point of life Some things you don't want to face, some things you're not ready to face. And you can't force it because you can end up doing more harm than good. Death reverse your internal change. Yeah. This has been slowly changing within you. All this bogged down, this stagnancy, this aimless energy, this restless energy, like it's been building up to something. Something's coming for this, because even though you've felt all of this, you haven't given up. Yeah, you've stalled out at times and all of that, but you haven't given up. And you're releasing your fear. You've been committed to it. And committed to finding yourself through this heartbreak and this sorrow. And honestly, that's really beautiful and commendable. Look what actually came out. 9 of Wands. Upright. Test of faith. Yeah. You have to learn to like take care of yourself. Instead of like rescuing someone else, wanting to save someone else, especially in an addiction situation, you cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. You had to learn that. And more so, your commitment being tested. I think for a while, why this was so stalled out for you, you thought that your commitment was being tested with this person. Can you hold them down? Can you stay, ride or die energy or whatever? And it's like, no, babe, you need to be putting that towards yourself. They need to be working on themselves. You need to be working on yourself. It's not, can you hold them down? Can you stand the test of time with them? It's, can you walk away when you know that you need to, and stand the test of time for yourself, because you know that this is wearing you down. This is eating away at you. This is not healthy for you. Strength at the bottom of the deck as I say that. A very, very beautiful card. Very beautiful card. It's gentleness, it's compassion, it's taming the beast within. It's doing things with grace, with poise, with ease. The strength of a lion. You have claws. Doesn't mean you use them, because you know when to and when not to. And you're not worried, not to cut your burst at the bottom of the deck, you're not worried about a feeling of, unrequited love. Before you were focused on that, right? How you felt used and everything, but you're not worried about that now. I want to see... I'll see what's being activated for you, and then depending on what comes out with that, we'll get their energy. And if not, we'll just leave this here because it's just meant for you. It's being activated real quick about this time. And then a soul contract. Golden mirror, one-sided relationship, self-absorbed, narcissist, love-bombing. You need to learn to love yourself. You need to learn when to walk away. I mean, literally that healthy choice is literally learning when to walk away. We might only get a couple of these. Oh yeah, relationship up and down, the second chances, grow, transform your life. Yeah. Needing to learn how to grow and transform through craving this sort of situation, through outdated thinking, outdated conditioning. Yeah. Stuck in the past. Runner. Healing heart. She's a runner. She's a track star. Why did I just hear that? Fear of intimacy, listening to the ego. That's another reason why that you need to like not engage in sexual intimacy, because this person fears like actual intimacy. And on some level you could too, but I'm feeling that this is them them running. This is something that they have to like heal and grow. Like it's again easy to fake true like deep intimacy through sex. But Cupid's arrow over this. Have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, meeting. But also speaks to hesitation, which I could see that after this. And you're still, you know, your heart's still healing. One more. Two more. Seduction, not today. Which this seduction card speaks to third-party influence. But talking at the bottom, this is what you guys need to be focused on. Actually talking things out. A lot of stuff needs to be revealed here. Attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. And that's why if you really want this to work, if you really want love, this person runs because they fear actual intimacy. So yeah, they'll get in bed with you, but not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, they'll avoid like the hard stuff. If you, because you know you can just get lost in sex, like you, because you get, you know, your feelings get all involved, and then everything kind of feels fine until the next argument happens, or the next time they're triggered or you're triggered, and next thing you know that you're replaying certain things that have already happened that you should have talked about, that you thought that you were past, but you only thought that you were past that because sex was good. Well, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. Go in there. Like, this is what's being activated for you. So this is like, when this comes back around, these are things that, this is what you need to be cautious of. This is what you need to trust your intuition on. Coffin, ending, spring, new beginnings, though. Under golden mirror, under this one-sided relationship, love bombing, having many options. Did you just hear that? That was my stomach having many options. It was very loud there. Again, healthy choices at the bottom of the deck here. Remember that, like, it's not to not trust this person. It's not to be distrustful, but it is kind of like, have your guard up. Have your guard up. Remember how you were treated like an option, but also remember you have options. You don't have to settle for this. You get to choose whatever it is that you want within your life. You don't have to settle for one-sided relationships anymore. And that's a decision that you need to actively make and stand on. Grim Reaper. The Chaser. So yeah, you needing to grow and transform your life. Fear of abandonment. As I say that, the love card, and this is unconditional love. This is self-love. This is self-love. Oneness, passion, affection, attraction. But like, self-love. Runner. But you also could just be in the energy right now, like the Grim Reaper of like no second chances, you know what I mean? Over and done. But we both know that's not really what it is that you want. So just think about how this is grown. Now this is grown you, shaped you, transformed you. Sunglasses. I'm watching, okay? But runner. It's actually really sad. The not enough card came out. So listen to their ego. This is not an excuse. Fear intimacy, fear people getting close to them because they don't feel like, deep down, they don't feel like they're enough. They lack confidence, so they self-sabotage. They focus on fear and jealousy. And again, their ego. Which could probably lead them to going, you know, into other beds or whatever to get some sort of, not even a thrill, but you know, that confidence boost. There's another phrase that I'm looking for, but it's failing me right now. But also they could have been very frustrated in the relationship. Maybe there were things on their end that they didn't bring up to you because again, they lack the ability, like they fear intimacy, true intimacy, to be honest about things. Cupid's arrow. And this is snake. Cupid's arrow. Healing heart actually coming out. So under have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction. So this is good. This is good. And again, talking at the bottom here. Let's see the seduction. Seduction, not today. This is a Phoenix that wants to come out but didn't. Self-indulgence, which is a beautiful card. Focusing on self-worth, identity, time to heal, doing your shadow work, appreciating yourself, which that's also going to help you get over this, like get over the anger in the ways that you cross your own boundaries and they cross your boundaries. That's what's really going to help you with this grow and transform as you get over your fear of abandonment, because deep down a fear of abandonment points to you being mad at yourself, because other people abandoning you shows how you've abandoned yourself, because so many red flags had to have come up that you actively ignored because you didn't want to be abandoned, which is you, again, abandoning yourself, abandoning your own needs. And so deep down, underneath all that anger, all that hurt towards the other person, you're angry and you're hurt at yourself because you let yourself down. Because you inevitably did, like, it didn't start with you, right? But you continued on the pattern and continued hurting yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that's clicking. Just one last one. That's lightning. Whatever it is, it's coming in fast. Going from breakup, separation, needing to stop the pattern, a silent treatment, a really, really bad way to end something. But they're a runner. It makes sense. To lightning, shocking upheaval. But this is fast. This is incoming fast. I'm going to grab that and then put this away. And we'll just get like into their energy just a little bit because this is already 40 minutes long. Okay, yeah. So what's been going on with connected energy? Shallow, empty, bored, hollow. Not being able to chase thrills, which, okay, so they could be being confronted with how when they're not chasing thrills and stuff, like deep down they just do feel hollow, and that is why they do that, right? Which is typically like why people have addictions, because they're avoiding certain things, typically avoiding how like hollow they feel inside, how much pain they have, you know, that sort of thing. Ooh, did you see that? My leg just jumped like crazy at that. Shocking. Finality. I mean, they could think this is done. This is something that they need to leave behind. The revelation, like the realization that they chased thrills could have been very shocking for them. Influences at the bottom here. Maybe they didn't realize just like kind of how caught up they were. How much of a problem this was for them, how dependent they were on that. How much they actually really did fear intimacy. What's this? Rejection. They could also be sitting in how shocking like all of this is, how much turmoil all of this caused, and how it was kind of unexpected because they just ran, right? They just ran. They dismissed it, they abandoned it, and they just like, I'm hearing the line, it's so funny because this song is not in this context at all, but I'm hearing the line, it's better if I'm something that you leave behind, which is from Two Hearts, Dermot Kennedy, I believe, which speaks to like people having like a serendipitous like meetup again and kind of starting over, right? Like turning a new page, really starting a whole new book. Sort of energy goes to that song. Very, very beautiful. I think maybe that could be possible here for you guys. There's a reason why that specifically came to mind, because it's not like a novel or unique line. But also with them feeling they're not enough, of course, you know, maybe they would feel like it's better off if if there's something that you leave behind. The next lines in that is, oh, what a beautiful feeling to love and no love in return. They didn't think that was possible for them. So they rejected you before you could reject them. Maybe they thought that all they were good for was a good time, chasing thrills, excitement of things. Time. Yeah, I think this time, how much time this has taken, which I am doubling down on. This has been a while. Give me a second. Excuse me, so sorry. The time of all this has allowed them to see just how like empty they are, how hollow they feel. Confessions. You know what I'm hearing? One, just addressing this, obviously, like we talked about this. Thrill seeking, right? Broken mirror. Coming clean about that. But with hollow, I'm hearing hollow, no con. Wake up every day, put on my clothes, open my 401k, might fill up the hole in my soul, but I'm hollow. 12-12. Scared to check the date. I'm scared of the dark. You can't escape it. No matter how fast. I'm pretty sure it's like car or something. When you're hollow. In my darkest times, that song was on repeat for me. Because I felt hollow. I felt empty. I felt like a broken mirror. Hell. Shocking. And it does take like time, you know, just like silence, the expanse, for you to understand like, wow, no, for you to have like no distractions. And it takes a while for that to like kind of happen and kick in, of like, wow, no, like it's not other people. I feel hollow inside. This is not an other people thing. This is a me thing that I need to address within myself. And even if I had problems with this other person, it doesn't take away from the fact that regardless, I would still have this empty, hollow feeling inside that I need to address, that only time can address. In this instance, time does heal all wounds. Shocking. But I am also like a believer, especially in love, especially the right love, that time does not heal wounds. Time just creates deeper wounds, deeper scars, because it reminds you of what you had and how empty you are now, how hollow you are now. Elusive, dishonesty, deception, trickery. The confession could be about this, right? Like this, right? And this could be the shocking thing, but also shocking how much, and I've said this, but just confirming, shocking just how much turmoil they caused, how much trouble they caused with their dishonesty, with their deception, with and like lying to you, but like lying to themselves. It's more so an internal thing. It's like, look at the damage that I've caused by not being able to look at myself and see, like meet myself in the mirror, meet myself face to face. Again, sometimes it's not the other person. It's, wow, this is something I need to address within self. But this is also really good because this is showing growth. Malady. Divine Feminine. Yeah, they think you're done. They think you're done. Which in you, like in in your deck with this, you did have Chaser under Grim Reaper, which is no second chances, over and done. So yeah, breaking point. They can tell that you've hit your breaking point. Rejection. They could be holding on to how they rejected you, how withdrawn they were. But also it could be that like deep down, you know, they have like this obsession. They love you, right? Like mask and stuff. Again, like really literal mask here. And fear rejection because of that. Like now that they understand how they feel, the depth of what they feel. But also this obsession can speak to addiction. Maybe they felt like you would reject them because of their addiction. Let's get one more for that. It's like they rejected you, but they're still holding on. They're still clinging. And honestly, like the clinging card also speaks to obsessing. Yeah, obscurity, mystery, secrets, concealing. How they hid all this from you. And it could be that you didn't even know that they had such addictions. I think that's what's gonna come out. Yeah, I said that because I'm sorry. I'm really sleepy and I like had 2 hours of sleep, but I had to get this out. But I said that under confessions and ecstasy. I don't think you knew, and maybe if you had like an inkling, I don't think you knew the depth of it. You kind of sensed it, but like the true depth of it, how it was really affecting them, ruining their life, and how it's ruined other like relationships. And how this is like a huge pattern for them. I think that was like veiled for a reason on both ends, because there's lessons to learn here for both of you. I said that right, of how you need to choose yourself, how you like, you know what I mean? So yeah. But I mean, I'm not getting bad energy from this. Instability is still something to have caution over. You know what I mean? Like, just to be real, right? Like, just because I'm not getting bad energy doesn't mean just dive head first into this. I'll get one animal archetype for you, one animal archetype for them. And then I will get one animal spirit, and then I'll get an actual archetype. The archetype of energy and how spirit sees that connection, or this connection. But animal spirit message for you. Okay, that's not bad. That's the lion and the mouse. Lion, witch, and wardrobe. Lion and the mouse are at the bottom of that. Off rip, I'm gonna read them, but like off rip, there's a need to like not be so nitpicky, not be so harsh in your own healing journey. Allow it to unfold the way that it needs to unfold. See the transformations that you've been making, right? And don't hyper focus on this. Don't hyper focus on, am I healed enough for this, and all of that. Trust in divine timing of things. And also, like, maybe you need a project, maybe you need like a creative project, because again, like all this restless energy that you have, right, all this fire that's building up within you, it needs to be directed in one way or another. Especially so that you're not micromanaging your transformation, their transformation, adding unnecessary just energy to a situation, you know what I mean? Connect the energy, please. 2 for them. This is tea. The spider and the hummingbird. Oh, the spider and the nightingale. The spider is your, okay, so they're activating some powerful stuff here. The spider is your dharma. It's aligning with your dharma, your purpose. That really being activated within you, and for them it's something with their voice, with the way they like emote and express. they have a very like soothing voice, maybe, you know, like a sexy voice or whatever, something that, you know, gets you going, or something that just makes them compelling, like magnetizing. Because especially here we have the cover at the bottom, when the student becomes the teacher, and like them having like their own inner teacher. Maybe that's why they're so compelling. I'm gonna read the nightingale for that. And for you, you had the lion and the mouse, and at the bottom was the otter, which the otter is the most playful, right? Like just beautiful, spirited, childlike energy. And so, yes, you need to be committed to your transformation, your growth, your mastery, right? And yes, you are this regal, like enthralling person, but also you have a tendency to be very nitpicky. So you need to kind of ease up 1221, ease up and find the joy, the levity, the light in things. That's why you need to indulge in like some creative projects, like some creativity. And work with your sacral energy. I don't know why I just started hearing all them horses, no con. This album just released like 2 days ago. What am I doing? I'm sorry, y'all. I just got. We need to wrap it up. I'm sorry. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them, especially if this person like has the feeling of like not being enough. You know what I mean? When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. So it's not bad that you're nitpicky. It's not bad that you're detail oriented, or that you know you have this like nervous energy about you. It's like direct it, because you also have this fire within you. So direct it. Just I pretty much went through lion, but patient, regal, a complete master. Patient, and also the epitome of peace and strength. Literally the strength card, the gentleness, compassion. You have it within you to transform over and over and over again. But you have this regality about you, this reserve. You know what I mean? Like that's a special kind of strength. I'm not gonna read spider because I went into it already, but nightingale for them. Fearless speech, fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. This simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of other birds, transports its listeners to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates the need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, let it out. And this could just simply be them needing to like the freedom that's going to come with them expressing how they really feel about you and everything that they've been struggling with, right? Like when you on their end as well, like when you stop forcing yourself to be perfect and you allow yourself to be seen as you are, there is a comfort and an ease that comes over you, and it allows you to settle more into yourself because you're not trying to act like you have everything all together. Because newsflash, none of us have it all together. And we'll just get one for how spirit sees this connection, and then we'll be done. Divine Spirit, how you see this connection, please? This is a powerful card. It's an initiation card, Apocalypse. This speaks to Queen, finding your sovereignty. This is an unveiling. It is removing the veil of deception. So it speaks to the destruction, the chaos, the pain, the anguish, which we saw happen with you at the beginning, right? That happens when something is unveiled. And you're forced to contend with that. And then the regeneration that comes afterwards, which is honestly present in both of you guys' energy in different ways. Both of you, but in a sense, both of you honestly realizing how you need to save yourselves. And what you see coming next within this connection. The tear. Ooh, we're gonna read that. That speaks to a release. The mourning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Endings bring new beginnings. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world. Through our watery eyes, the ancestors catch a glimpse of us, and we're reminded of their eternal embrace. Didn't I just say about... I can't even remember. Hold on. It's not even important. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It's something to the extent of that sentence I just said. I'm pretty sure. Y'all know what I just said. It is likely this card appears when there is grieving yet to do, a sinking into disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes. When light, melody, melancholy flowing through, when dark, drowning, drama, murkiness. It's not pretending that the pain didn't happen, that you aren't hurt. It's allowing yourself to open up to that and for that to be seen. I just saw one. And the beauty of what comes after that, after truth, and how there is like true vulnerability that is now available to you, and like intimacy available to you because you've given into that. I hope that just made sense. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to bed now. As always, let me know if this resonates with you, and if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I just opened up my calendar for May. Email me. I love you so much. Have a wonderful night. It's noon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.